What's going on, everybody? Pastor Stewart Wilkerson here. I am so excited about this week's podcast. I don't know how often we're going to be doing this, if it'll be a weekly thing, a bi-weekly thing, or a monthly thing, but all I know is that we are just getting this thing kicked off and started, and we've got a special guest for you that I'm fixing to introduce. We've got something special for you this week. It's going to be something that I believe will speak to you right where you are in the midst of your family, your daily walk with the Lord. Maybe there's something that you're going to get out of this like we have. So today, my special guest that I have with us today is my beautiful wife, Lindsey Wilkerson. She is here with me in the studio with me.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
So we, before I reveal the topic, actually, you're going to probably read it before you even hear it. So I'm just going to go and tell you, we are going to talk about what we wish we knew when we got married. How long have we been together?
16 years.
So we dated for 2 years before we got married, and we've been married for 14 years now. Next year will be our big 15th anniversary. Do you have any ideas where we may go for our trip?
I was wondering what you were thinking, what you've booked.
I'm thinking Gatlinburg.
No.
I like Gatlinburg.
Aruba.
Anyways, so we've been married, and we've learned a lot throughout the years, and I think God has given us a lot of grace. And we're going to be talking about some things today that are personal, things that are that have marriage lessons that have helped us, and hopefully they'll help you guys as well. But before we begin, I want to do a few questions as an icebreaker that I believe will help us or help you understand who we are. So this game is called Who is More Likely To? Okay. So on the count of three, me and you have to say, I guess we'll do it that way. Count of three, we'll just say
Stewart or Lindsey.
Yeah, me or you.
But they don't know who.
Stewart, Lindsey. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
They can't see
So
us.
number one, who is more likely to be late? 1, 2, 3, Lindsey. Yes, I 100% agree.
That wasn't necessary.
But Preston, our second oldest child, He lives in this philosophy that if you are on time, you're late. You don't get that. He doesn't get that from you.
I get it. I think I just also get that I'm getting 4 kids ready, 2 dogs put up, everyone fed, and out the door.
Yeah.
So.
Who takes longer to get ready? Oh, man, this is going to be hard. It just depends.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Lindsey.
Lindsey, just because I have hair.
Yeah.
You know.
I can get ready pretty quick.
I can for a girl.
I can be pretty quick out the door in 5 minutes. What about you?
No, not 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Next question. I like these. Who spends more money? 1, 2, 3.
Stewart. I'm glad you agreed.
Yeah. There is a new hunting tool that I cannot say out loud on the mic that I need.
You don't need.
I won't. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. Who's more likely to apologize first? 1, 2, 3. Stewart.
I don't.
Lying. Me.
Okay. But maybe it's just because you're more mean, and so you have to apologize first more.
No, I think you're
I'm easy to forgive.
You are, but you don't apologize a lot. I've not heard you say I'm sorry a lot growing up.
Well, like I said, when you do something wrong first, then like you have to apologize for that instead of me apologizing for my response of something you did. You get it?
Yeah, sure. All right. Who is the more, how do I say that? Who is the stricter parent? 1, 2, 3.
Stewart.
Yeah. Eden told me the other day I'm very strict,
Yeah.
not strict. She says that her bus driver is very strict
Yeah.
as well. So, Lindsey used to take them to the gas station all the time before they went to school, but now I take them to school, so we barely go to the gas station, even though we went this morning. I had to get some cash for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, more strict. All right, a few more. Who worries more? I think we have to think about that for a minute. When you're ready, tell me.
I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Stewart.
Okay. You and I agree. All right. Usually, like, you do this when you're back to back and you have a shoe of your own or something like that. But anyways, it's different. Who is more likely to say, I told you so? 1, 2, 3.
Lindsey.
Stewart. What? No.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm right.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I cannot believe that.
I wouldn't say that you would say, I told you so, but I'm the one that will say it out loud. You really don't say it out loud.
I don't have to say it all the time because it's like, why did I not listen to her? She was right. And that is the truth.
Okay.
You know it is.
Yeah. All right. Who is more stubborn? 1, 2, 3.
Stewart.
Okay. I'm fixing to ex-nay this podcast right now. Last one. This is a good one. Who married up? Who married up? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lindsey. You married up.
We both gave the right answer.
No, you married up. You lucked out when you drew this card.
Okay, well, you just messed that up. I thought we were saying that something positive about each other.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do it again.
I don't know the answer anymore.
So, you get a little taste of, and I want you to do that game with your spouse, okay? Did you enjoy that or no?
Yeah.
Okay, she didn't, I can tell. All right, so today we're going to be talking about what we wish we knew when we got married. Like we said, we've been together for 16 years. We dated for 2 years before we got married. We are quickly approaching on our 15th anniversary. And one thing that we've got a few things. I don't know how long this will be or short or whatever it may be, and we'll just kind of find a good landing point to end it. But what would you say is something that you wish you knew then that you know now in marriage?
Probably that, just because you're going through the motions of living together, going to work, coming back, eating dinner, that really does not establish a relationship. Like, I really don't think that this is sad, but I really don't think we knew each other until the past 5 years, if that.
Yeah.
But seriously.
What anniversary did we spend in Cancun?
The first time.
Yeah. And you said it was the greatest trip we had because it was like a honeymoon again.
Was it 11th? Or 11th anniversary?
I don't know, something like that. Or 10th. No,
it was 3 years ago.
It was 11th or 12th.
Yeah. So
maybe
12th.
When we went to Cancun a few years ago, we treated it as like a honeymoon to ask questions. And I remember one time we were doing this game with each other where we were asking each other different questions. And do you remember that night? We ended up sitting outside for like 2 hours drinking coffee and just talking to each other and passed time by really quick.
Yeah.
And really had a good time.
Yeah. You ask questions like, I think you looked up different things that you can ask your spouse, like things that you would think is very elementary, but that we really don't know about each other.
Yeah. I asked her who her first kiss was.
Well, I wasn't talking about like that.
And she told me.
I don't even, what?
And I can't stand the guy.
You don't even, what?
I don't know him.
Oh my God. I wasn't talking about that.
I think those questions that we asked really set a foundation to where we are now. And it's sad that I feel like we wasted a lot of time because we thought that being busy was healthy for the marriage, but it wasn't.
No.
And I've said this before, is that the the biggest my youth ministry ever got was when my family suffered the most, because I felt like I was going nonstop Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doing stuff for the ministry, which is great. But I felt like I was losing my family, and my family had to suffer for it as well. So that was something that I had to do. I think something that's very important is making scheduled time for your spouse. That's something that you and I have done a lot, and you enjoy it, don't you?
Yes. Every Friday.
So Monday through Thursday, I work as hard as I can to do what I can. But then on Fridays we call them date days. And so we're actually recording this on Thursday. So tomorrow we're actually going somewhere. Where are we going?
I don't know.
What have we done?
Oh,
I mean, like, we schedule time for each other on Fridays to go out. We drive, we go eat, we go shopping, we just hang out together. You know, obviously you can't fly to Cancun in a day, but you can we went to Rome, Georgia one time.
yeah. And then where's that where Dolly? Remember?
Rossville.
Is that?
Yeah. Rossville, Georgia, or Fort Oglethorpe.
I don't know.
It's one of those.
Where the church where they got married?
Dalton.
No.
No, it wasn't Dalton. I think it was Rossville.
Okay.
I think. So make scheduled time for your spouse. If you're listening, you're a husband, you need to put it on your calendar to have a date day or a date night with your wife and surprise them. I don't know if it was a few weeks back or months ago or whatever, but I came to her and I said, no, it's been a few weeks. And I said, hey, get ready. I've got babysitters and we're going to eat. We're going to have a date night. Remember that?
Yes.
We did that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you're not the one that you like surprises.
I mean, if I don't know there's a surprise coming, I'm good with it. I don't like the anticipation. Like,
If I
not
tell you I have a
knowing.
surprise.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, she hates it. So anyway, so make time for your spouse. I would say that your relationship, like, obviously relationship with other people is important, but like, we're specifically talking in our homes right now. The relationship line that you have to have is that your most important relationship is between you and the Lord. Everything that you do with your spouse, with your kids, with other people, it falls in line if you and God are good together. And so that means spending time with him on a daily basis, reading the word, spending time in his presence. And so everything falls under that, basically. And so for me, you know, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything else will be added to it. So God is your number one relationship. Second to that is your relationship with your spouse.
Yes.
That's why we used to say this a lot, but we still say it to each other sometimes. You know, it's like one of those good and bad things, but it has a negative connotation to it. But I always say that you're my number two, because God is my number one, you're my number two. But it's true.
Yeah.
And then under that, this is where a lot of people get it wrong, is they think it's God, kids, then your spouse. It is your relationship with God, your relationship with your spouse, and then it's your relationship with your kids.
Yeah.
So sometimes with 4 kids, it gets busy. You and I have to figure out how to parent, how to pastor, how to do all these things. But you and I have to make sure our relationship with the Lord is good. Then we have to make sure our relationship with each other is good.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever those two things are out of whack, my whole
Mm-hmm.
day is ruined.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So is there a devotional that you specifically like that you think maybe ladies would be drawn to? I know that you're a part of the Amanda Crabb thing.
Yeah, Remnant. It's the best $20 we've spent because I've been a part of it since it started. Right when we moved here, 2022.
Yeah.
It's really good. Amanda Crab.
Yeah. Another thing I would say too is marriage doesn't automatically get easier. You have to intentionally make your marriage better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So at nighttime, we are trying to get back into the hang of it. But every single day, like you said, it's really busy. We have, we're running everywhere with the kids and stuff for church and everything else. So at nighttime or whenever whoever's they have time, but maybe 15, 20 minutes at least of uninterrupted time of just talking. How's your day going? Just talking about casual stuff.
Yeah. Or even if it's just
Catching
us sitting
up.
there watching a YouTube video of like a podcast, marriage podcast. And then
Yes.
like one thing that I used to like, I would want Lindsey to be in a prayer closet with me and like be going in there praying and praying out loud. And like both of us are like, yeehaw, like let's get together with the Lord. She's not that way. And I think that's okay. But like simply sometimes we just hold hands like, we need to do it better, and we just hold hands at night and Jensen Franklin says he just reaches over, holds his wife's hands and prays a simple prayer over her and they're praying together every day. And that's something that, that we need to do better at, but also with our kids. We need to do that better with our kids and, set time aside, have boundaries for your kids and your family and, have a schedule for them, but also, allow them to be kids. But if you're not having a prayer time and, we've not done the best job at it, I'll just be honest with you because it's just so busy, but you've got to make time to pray. I pray with the kids every morning before they go to school. And so, but one thing I want to do is do a devotional with them and do a family devotion together. I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I can't ask them to get on their knees and their face and wail out to the Lord. A 6-year-old would be like, Daddy, what are we doing? So you've got to be intentional. Now, this is one thing that I think men struggle with is communication.
Yes, Lord.
Communication is more than just talking.
Yes.
What is communication to you?
So emotional intimacy is extremely important. So it's not just the, hey, the checking off the list of, okay, I answered all these questions. I'm going to run out the door. And then you think, wow, that went fantastic. And the wife was like, I don't even know what just happened. Like, I don't even, you're not really there. You know when you're not there.
Well, one thing I'll say is that you can talk all day, but still not communicate with each other.
Yes.
So what would you say are ways that a man can communicate with a wife better? Or what are ways that a man can communicate with a wife?
Well,
Period.
a lot of times it probably will require time set apart, like that we know, hey, during this time, this is a non-negotiable. This is a boundary of nothing's going to interfere with this time. And then maybe that kind of would help with any to-do lists or things at work or something because you've bought this time off for your spouse only, even if it's like 15 minutes a day. So then you're more intentional when you're talking. You actually, actually care to know one another or to see how the day really went versus I'm just trying to squeeze something in so our spouse thinks that we're really here, checking the list off.
That goes back to intentionality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say listening is a part of communicating?
Yes, it is. But you got to respond too,
Learning when to have a conversation or maybe when it's better to wait, I think is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because there may be times to where something is like really heavy on my heart. I've noticed this is that 14 years in, I'm still learning who you are and I'm still learning your tone. Like your tone tells me a lot. And sometimes I may look at you and say, hey, your tone is telling me something completely different. You're like, I didn't mean it like that. but like there may be something that's really, and I'm somebody that if I've got it on me, I've got to get it off my chest and I've got to say it, sometimes. But then there's also times where I harbor things in and I keep things in, right? Would you agree
Right.
with that?
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's something that I think is man built that men have to work on. But, you need to learn, like if I've had a heavy day, in ministry or something has happened and I come home and I can tell that you've had a rough day. Maybe there's times to where I don't speak it because I'm trying to wait for that conversation, wait for a good time to have that conversation. Right?
Yeah.
So you really helped me with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
Here's something that we actually have talked about this week is that we are on the same team. You and your spouse are on the same team. Whereas who is the parent that says yes more than they say no? All right, let me ask this question. Who's the parent that says no more than they say yes?
You?
Okay. So who did the kids go to for things mostly?
Me?
Why?
Well, they think I'm going to say yes every time.
Bingo.
But the truth is, I just don't immediately give an answer. So I don't just say, I don't even, so they can come up and start asking something. I don't even know what they're going to say. And I just be like, no, just because I have a habit of saying no instead of processing what's been said and then making a judgment call.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to, that's where as a husband and a wife, you have to be on the same team and on the same page, no matter what the issue is. Bedtime, boundaries with electronics, homework schedules, sports. Somebody may come to me and say, "Hey, Stewart, I want Preston to play football." Okay. Well, his mom, what if you say no, but I say yes? How do you handle that? Then that shows people around us how divided we are, and we can't be that way.
Well, that's why we don't make decisions at all without talking to one another. Then we're on the same page. To get on the same page, you have to communicate.
That goes back to you're on the same team and communication.
Yeah.
One thing that I really have, this is going to be big.
Oh, gosh.
But little things become big things if you don't deal with little things.
Yes.
Like if you do not deal with the small things, then they eventually turn into big things and they end up becoming monsters and destroying the family. Right?
Yeah.
So like if there is something or a conversation that somebody had with you and you don't tell them and someone tells your wife about, it's just like it goes back to communication. However, great marriages aren't built on anniversaries, vacations, flowers, presents, expensive dates. They're built on ordinary days, things that seem monotonous and things that seem small. And so someone says, well, I feel like we need to get away. You probably do need to get away if you're saying that. But also at the same time, when you come back to reality in life is going to be there, even when you escape. That's why people say, well, I got to be on vacation. I got to go on vacation. People go on these vacations all the time thinking they're escaping reality. But when they come back, their reality is waiting on them, right?
Yeah, but that's why it goes back to a healthy relationship. So, like with our schedule and with our kids young, it has been a thing in the past of I do literally take you out of the country for us to reunite because that's the only way to escape. Everything that we had. But you're right, we do go back. So the end goal would actually be one day that we're not going on a trip to save a marriage, but we're going on a trip to continue doing what we're already doing at home.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I think, if you don't deal with the small thing, if you don't do the small things well, you're not going to do the big things either. That's why people say, well, if I just make more money, I'll learn to tithe. You don't tithe with what you make now. So therefore, you have to learn to tithe with what you make now, and then God will bless you with it. If you will be, what Scripture say, if you're faithful in the small things, in the few things, God will make you ruler over many. If God can't trust you with the small things, he's not going to give you big things in your marriage to deal with. Like, a lot of people want to be on these talk shows and learn how to, but if you're not doing the mundane, everyday things in life, like it's just a wasted time.
Yeah.
So you got to learn to do the little things too. Here's some things I wrote down. You have to continually choose each other. You have to, it kind of goes back to a point we made earlier. You have to intentionally choose one another.
Love is actually a choice. It's not really a feeling.
That's the agape love that God has. The love that God has for us is the love that we are supposed to display for one another. And listen to me, Mom, Dad, you may say, well, I've not prayed for the love of God for my family. You need to. Like, don't be ashamed and too prideful to say, God, I need your love for my wife. I need your love for my spouse. I need your love for my kids. Don't be ashamed of that, because what that does is that you're opening yourself up and being transparent with the Lord. He knows everything, but you're opening yourself up to him, saying, God, I need your love in my heart. I need your love in my life for my kids. What about forgiveness?
I mean, yeah. I've always said that ultimately I think the spouse either end wants there to be peace in any situation. So I think it kind of goes to, or at least in our house, I feel like as long as we can get it out that we've messed up and that we realize, I don't know why we just did that. That was stupid.
Because we're going to hurt each other.
Then I think everybody's good with forgiving and moving on. I don't think, or at least with us, I feel like we can forgive easily as long as we know that they acknowledged we made a mistake, and now we're going to do the opposite of that.
Right. Well, somebody one time told me, one of my good buddies in college, his dad told me one time when I was younger, said that forgiveness is the key to life. If you want to succeed in life, you need to learn to forgive. Yeah. So that's why when you see people in the community that's hurt you, or people in your family that's hurt you, or the church hurt you, if you will learn to forgive them, you'll be able to confront them and say, hey, to them, like, there's nobody that I will not look in the eye and say, hey, how are you? Like, I forgive those people for what they've done. That don't mean that I trust them again. No. But as a spouse, you have to learn to trust them. But the spouse has to give you something worthy to trust. Yeah. And so for me, like, when somebody says, well, I'm under my husband's authority and stuff like that, if they're not saved, you may be under their household. But when God says that a wife is supposed to submit to their husbands, it's something that's a godly submission. It's godly submission, but it's something that the husband has to give them something worthy enough to submit to.
They have to be submitted to the Lord.
So like
the man does.
You can't, husband cannot lead their family if God is not leading them first.
Right.
If God is not leading me first, I can't lead y'all. So that's why a lot of people think that they're being led of the Lord, but they're not, because God's not leading them in the ways of everlasting. So you have to learn to forgive. You have to learn to do those things. You have to keep God at the center of your marriage. Everything that you do, you have to keep God at the center. Here's a big one. Stop comparing your marriage to somebody else's marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Don't compare your marriage to someone else's. However, you can learn from somebody, right?
Yeah, you always need those couples that are way far advanced than you. So an older couple who's been married a long time, be good if they've had a little bit of a battle, something they've been through, and they can pour into you, just like how we will one day have someone that's just gotten married and hopefully would look for us for some advice and to look up to.
Yeah. You've got to have somebody over you. You've got to have somebody beside you, somebody over you that's showing you the way, that's mentoring you, that's helping you. Timothy had Paul, but then also you got to have somebody beside you that you're walking with throughout everyday life. And that
Mhm.
could be basically the same person, but then you got to have somebody under you that you're passing that information to or that
Mhm.
knowledge to.
Mhm.
Lastly, what would you do, or if we could sit across the table from ourselves on our wedding day, um, just say before our wedding day, knowing everything we know now, what would we tell that young couple? We just said a lot.
Yeah. Um,
What would you say?
to be completely open with each other. Why are you laughing? I saw you laugh. No secrets. Um, think of each other as one. So there's never a decision made without the other one being a part of it or knowing. Um, relationship with the Lord first. And honestly, when your relationship with the Lord is good, the closer to God you get, you start taking on his characteristics. So like
Yeah.
the fruits of the spirit, those are things that's required for a marriage and for your children, love,
Right.
patience. So making sure all of that is aligned, and then intentionality.
Those are good.
Yeah.
There's a lot I could say. I would say keep your relationship with the Lord first. Do not lose your relationship with the Lord ever. That is the concrete, the foundation for your marriage. And if you want your marriage to succeed, and here's the thing, I don't know if it was I was afraid to lead, but like the more we're married, the more I realize that you want me to lead, but you want me to lead the way that God wants me to lead. And there's never been a time to where I say, hey, I feel like we need to do this, where you've, argued or whatever. I mean, you may have some input, but there's something that I feel like that we need to do as a family or as a couple or whatever. You've never argued with it. But, you know, I, I would almost say too, like this just came to me, don't overpower your better half.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overpower them and make them feel like they don't have a voice. But when in reality, you do have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You have a voice in our family. When we moved here, like you had a voice to it. And it affects you, it affects our kids. So don't overpower them. Let them have a place in your marriage, because they do. So I hope that you've enjoyed our podcast today. I hope that you guys gained something out of it. Just remember, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that follow button, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. They'll be on all three of those platforms. And just know we love you. We're praying for you today, and we cannot wait to see you the next time. God bless you. See you soon.